Hello, my friend. Welcome to practice. Today's class is all about getting our bodies moving again. And so today we are witnesses of our experience. We're open-minded. We're seeing what our bodies will give us, what boundaries we run into. We're keeping an open mind and hopefully a good attitude through that whole process. So when you're ready, take all the time in the world to come on down onto your yoga mat. We'll meet on our backs. So you can even pause class if you'd like a little extra time for that transition. As you start to lay yourself down on the floor, if you feel really crunched up in the neck, take your hands, lift your head up and scooch it back. And as you lay your head down, gently draw your chin towards your throat so the back of the neck gets long. And if that feels very impossible for you, you might say to yourself, oh, I would benefit from a pillow under my head, and then doing that same thing. So whether that's today or just the next class that you take, you can make that little assessment for yourself here. Let's take a big breath in through our nose and try to direct it way down deep in our torso. So not into the chest or the throat, but way down deep into the lower ribs. When you're ready to breathe out through your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. And that feels so good. Let's do that 2 more times. Take a full breath in through your nose, way down deep into your rib cage, expanding fully. And then breathe out through your mouth. If you're carrying a lot of tension or stress, you might even like to sigh out with an actual sound of your vocal cords, and that'll actually calm you down a lot more. And now see if it's possible for you to seal your lips, close your jaw, place the tip of your tongue at the upper gum line where the teeth and gums connect, and let the back of your tongue release and relax into the back of your mouth. Breathe steadily in and out through the nose. But keep the length of the breath and keep the depth of the breath in your torso. And already feeling the weight of the day flush out of our tissues, out of our mind. Feeling ourselves arrive with more presence in our body and on the mat. We'll meet with our feet flat on the ground, and the distance away from your pelvis is going to be up to you. We want to choose a distance where the knees feel okay. Press down with your feet and lift all 10 of your toes away from the floor. Sense that your foot is a tripod. The base of the big toe, the base of your little toe, and the center of your heel. And feel all 3 of those points on each foot connect down into the floor as your toes and your inner arches lift. Now gently rock and roll your pelvis forward and backward. So you're emphasizing the arch of your low back, and then you're pushing your low back into the floor. You're going back and forth like this, freeing up some of the tissue around your low back, introducing a little bit of movement into your hips. And the next time that you push your low back into the floor, hold there. Notice that your tailbone is lifting up towards your knees. Now take your hands as fists into your butt muscles. Those are your glutes, your outer hip muscles. And you want to firm your glutes in towards the center of your body as you start to lift your pelvis away from the floor, just a couple of inches for a low bridge. Keep lifting your tailbone up towards the backs of your knees there. And while we just added a lot of work, this is a big pose, you'll probably notice something happened with your breath. So can you go back into that deep breathing low in your torso, steady, full? This actually communicates safety and calmness through your nervous system so that when you do this work and you activate these muscles, your brain is able to hit save on this work in a more efficient way. Let's take a couple of more breaths here. And if you feel ready for it, begin some light pulsing of your pelvis, just a little up and down. And feeling now how maybe that activates the backs of your legs, your hamstring muscles. as well as your glutes. With the toes still lifted, feeling this almost, it's like a stocking of activation up your legs. And if you get fatigued at any point, you'll know because your brain will tell you or your breath will tell you. And so you're welcome to take breaks at any point and also make completely different choices from me or from Ollie. Thank you for joining in class today, Ollie. As you feel ready, slowly lower everything back down to the ground. And then windshield wiper your knees to the right and to the left, a little celebration of the work that we just did. As you do this, really release and relax through your face. So a lot of times when things feel hard in the body, you'll notice that you start to squint your eyes, you furrow your forehead, you clench your jaw. And so we want to release that extra residue. That residue doesn't help us. It's good information. It tells us, wow, this is hard, but it doesn't actually help us, the furrowing of the brow. We'll come back through center now. And the goal here is going to be to turn on the abdominal muscles, that whole abdominal wall. And so if this has been off for you for a long time, today might just be about the brain understanding that this is contractible tissue in here. And the more you come back, the more awake that it'll become. We'll interlock the hands behind the head with the elbows wrapped in. As you release your head down into your hands, continue to lengthen the back of your neck, kind of like we did earlier. Lift all 10 of your toes and imagine a stocking of activation riding up your legs into your pelvis. We're going to take a full breath in here, aiming to inflate the entire lower rib cage three-dimensionally. And on your exhale, firm your lower ribs down to the floor and lift up off the head and the shoulder blades any amount. You want your head relaxed, so really drop your chin into your throat. Use your hands to lengthen the back of your neck and continue to breathe here even though your stomach muscles are working. Hopefully you feel them working. Keep your front ribs anchored down as you lower your head to the floor. We're going to take another full breath in. This is your preparation, so fill up completely. On your exhale, firm your lower ribs down. Lift up off the shoulder blades any amount. Continue to keep the head soft so you're not doing the work in the neck. As you feel ready, return to the floor. Take a full breath in to prepare. On your exhale, lift up. If you feel ready for more complexity, see can you lift the right knee over the hip, keeping the foot flexed and the leg active. Take the right foot down to the floor and release. Those optional add-ons are just optional, so don't do it if you lose your breath or it just feels like too much. Take a full breath in to prepare. Exhale, curl up. Option to lift the left knee up over the left hip, keeping the leg active. Left foot down to the floor and release. Full breath in to prepare. One more time on each side. Exhale, curl up. Option to lift the right knee up over the hip. Take the right foot down and lower. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curl up. Option, lift the left knee. Left foot back down to the floor and release. We did it, my friend. Heel toe your feet mat width distance apart. Maybe cactus the arms. See how that feels? And windshield wiper the knees once again. You can keep the movements pretty small and aiming to keep a sense of that abdominal work still on for you. If cactus doesn't feel good in the arms, take them more down by your sides. Feeling a sense of expansion, openness through the chest. And we'll feel better if we do this. Take your right hand onto the front of your ribs and gently, as you're windshield wipering, ground the front of your ribs down, away from your left armpit. Oh yeah. And then we'll do the other side. So lengthen your right arm to the floor, maybe to cactus or another shape. Take your left hand onto the front of your ribs and gently guide them down to the floor. Pull them down away from your right armpit. Oh yeah. And then we'll roll over onto either side, whatever feels right for you, and use your hand to support your way as you press your way up towards a seat. And we'll maneuver our way around into a tabletop position. So this is weight bearing on the knees. If your knees are quite sensitive, you might like to pause practice and find a towel or a blanket to give yourself some extra support, especially if you're practicing on a really hard surface. And here is where we get to see how it feels to be on our knees, how it feels to be on our wrists. So your hands like starfish, the fingers spread wide underneath the shoulders, and begin to shift your body weight left and right and pitter patter your hands on the mat. If you have not been weight bearing on your wrists for a long time, don't be surprised if they really start to sing and get fatigued as you embark on a yoga practice. But know that the more you come back here, the more that they will open up for you. And surprise, our wrists really want to be good at weight bearing. So now circle around your wrists, circling the shoulders, and expose your wrists to this different angles and ranges of motion. Go the other way. And align this with that deep breathing that we were doing at the beginning so that your brain learns to regard this as safe. Now turn your fingers to face out, your wrists face in towards each other, and shift your body weight to the right, through center, and to the left. Again, exposing the wrist to all of these ranges of motion. And if anything feels like it's saying no to you, then don't move into a space where your body's saying no. Move right up into that point, so don't get scared. And now turn your palms so that the fingers face back towards the knees. You're stretching the heel of your palm down towards the floor. Maybe you're feeling a big stretch through your forearm muscles. That would be amazing. Now bend into your elbows any amount. Maybe it's a micro bend, and begin to shift your body weight back just a little bit and forward. Oh yeah. Thank you, wrists. And now we'll stretch them the other way. We're almost done with our wrist work here. They're so happy we're doing this. Backs of the hands down, fingers face each other. And now drag your wrists away from each other. There's 8 little bones that make up the wrist joint here. So what we're doing is we're getting lots of space through the tops of that. Great job, my friend. We'll take the hands down and maybe tent the fingers here and see if you can feel some strength in the palms, like your fingers are squeezing toward each other. We're going to tuck the toes under and walk the hands back towards the knees a little bit and see, is it possible to lift up off the knees, push our body weight onto our feet, and take our elbows onto our thighs. So we've transitioned up towards a stand and a happy squat. Keeping our head low here though, so we're not overdoing anything. And continue to release and relax through the head, almost like the spine is waterfalling or tumbling out of the pelvis there. And lift all 10 of your toes. Feel the tripod of your feet on the ground. A deep bend into the knee and a deep crease into the hips. So use your elbows to really get space from your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head. And take full deep breaths into your lower ribs. Now ground down into your heels, slow motion, ground your tailbone down and roll yourself all the way on up to stand. And if you start to get lightheaded, notice that. That's okay. That can be common as you begin the practice. But what will help is coming up on an exhale and going slowly. Now grounding down through the feet here, let's take some shoulder rolls, feeling that joint open up for us. Relax your chin into your throat so the back of your neck gets long. Roll your shoulders the other direction. And now we'll work in our standing position. So lift all 10 of your toes so you can feel that tripod structure of the feet. I'll turn to face you. We're gonna see if the legs will allow us a little bit of balance work. So you can always grab onto a chair or a countertop here. You can move off your mat even for that. But what we're gonna see is, could I lift my right leg out to the right side of the mat just a little bit? And what I'm trying to do is not tip my body weight over to the left. So I'm not doing that. I'm grounding down through the tripod of that left foot, feeling a stocking of activation zip up through the leg, and feeling myself grow vertically up from the heel to the crown of the head. Now, hopefully where I'm feeling this is right here in this outer glute. These are huge postural muscles, stabilizer muscles, and really important to assist with balance. So now walk your right foot in front of the left foot, ground down through the tripod of that foot as you lift your left leg out to the side any amount. If you feel like that leg is rotating open, like your left toes are turning open, try to turn your left toes more forward, even more in towards your right toes. Try to take some full deep breaths here around the full circumference of your rib cage, especially back here into these back ribs. Step your left foot forward. Your balance will improve with practice. Right leg out to the right. If you want a little pulsing action here. Right foot down, left foot, a little pulsing action. Left foot down. We'll step the right foot back, but stay on the toes of that right foot. This is balance as well, but a high lunge here. If you feel wobbly, again, you can hold on to something off the side. So you're a bend in the front knee, but that knee is not tractioning so far forward. It's kind of right over the ankle. So you got to find the distance that works for you. Take your hands onto your pelvis, one on the front, one on the back, and gently hug the front of your pelvis towards the back of the mat as you take your tailbone more down and forward towards the front of the mat. When you do that, hopefully you feel a nice stretch along the front of that right hip, right where that underwear crease is. This is a big pose, so fuel it with breath. And then we're gonna lift up and turn open to the side of the mat. So the feet are nice and wide. Lift all 10 of your toes, see if that's possible. Feeling the inner legs kind of move away from each other. Hands onto the pelvis, again, upright it. That's what we're gonna call this. Front of the tailbone moves down, the pelvis moves upright like it's a bowl filled with water and it's not tipping. And now what we're gonna do right here at the underwear crease, we're gonna see, can I hinge forward any amount? So now my torso's more parallel with the floor, and I'm gonna push into one side, bend just one knee, lift up through center and push over to the other side. Here, activating this side to side motion, such a critical plane of movement for us to be fluent in. And really feeling like the hips are hinging back rather than the knees tracking forward over the toes. As you feel ready, come back through center. You can take hands on the pelvis. Imagine moving from that underwear crease as you stand upright. And now here we go. We're going to turn towards the back of the mat, high lunge on the right side. So you're on your left toes there. Find a moment. Sandwich your pelvis with your hands and gently upright your pelvis as best you can. And then focus on sending your breath three-dimensionally through the lower rib cage as best you can. It's just your first day back on the mat, so we are not aiming for perfection here, my friend. As you feel ready, we're gonna see, can I step my left foot towards my right foot? So I'm standing up facing the back of the mat. Wow, that feels weird. We're gonna have hands down at the side here, soft bend into the knees. And as you feel ready, take a full breath in, maybe reach the arms forward and up towards the sky. See how that feels on your shoulders. And then hands together, slide them down in front of your chest. Exhale. Your breath in, stretch and reach the arms forward and up. And on your exhale, slide the hands down in front of the chest. Karate chop your underwear crease, just like we did when the feet were wide. See, can you hinge forward at the hips? And now you take your hands, bending the knees, creasing the hips, take the hands all the way down to the floor if you can. If not, find a piece of furniture to help you. And then we'll move the knees back into tabletop position. So the wrists are down under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, the fingers are wide like starfish. And now we're gonna see, can I tuck the toes? This is a big one, my friend. Keep breathing. Could I hover the knees into a baby bear pose? That's the core. Now could I lift my hips up towards the sky, shift my body weight back for a downward facing dog. Keep your head in front of your arms. You can keep your knees very bent here, a very big pose. So just see how your body responds to this. See if you can take 2 or 3 big deep breaths here today. As you feel ready, shift your shoulders forward over your wrists, take your knees down, untuck your toes, take your big toes together, separate your knees a little bit wider if that feels okay, and push your hips back towards your heels any amount. Your ankles, knees, or hips might be the limiting factor here. So do your best. This is a child's pose. Just do your best and see how your body responds to it. If it feels appropriate for you to lower your torso and your head towards the floor, you can do that. If the forehead doesn't quite meet the floor, you can stack your fists and maybe take your forehead down there. Even that might be too far away, and so that's okay too. Your pose might look very different from ours, and that's fine. This is to just settle your nervous system as best you can. Relax your face, relax your breath. And then we'll find a position that we want to end our practice in. So I'm going to come into a seated position on my mat. If that feels okay for you or you want to test it out, you can come kind of crisscross applesauce and see how that works for you. If your hips are very tight, that's not going to feel appropriate today. So you could also choose to lay down or sit up in a chair. But it's nice before we embark on the rest of our day to have a moment to check in with ourselves, to breathe and close our eyes. To thank ourselves for showing up to the practice. To remind ourselves of our role as a steward of our body, a servant of our body, that we are here to observe, to serve, that any ideas of perfection or judgment, while those may happen, and it's okay that they do, they're not really that relevant to what we're doing here. So we just let thoughts of perfectionism or thoughts of judgment go through and out of our system without putting too much emphasis or importance on them. And that's what helps us keep our spirits high and a good attitude so that we feel great for the rest of the day, and we also feel incentivized to come back to the mat tomorrow. So as you embark on the rest of your day, take notice of how your body feels. Maybe leave me a comment to let me know how practice went for you, any ahas, anything that felt really great, maybe any questions that you have. And then take this opportunity to go drink some water, take some moment for yourself, do something kind for your body, for your mind as you move back into your daily life. Thank you for joining in today's practice, and I'll see you here tomorrow.